Kelly thinks she can do chin-ups on it, but
no chin-ups, but you can see this.
So
I will not tell you how much I weigh, but it's enough to make sure that's strong. Hello and welcome back to Life in Every Season. Hope you guys are having a great day. Finally, the sun came out today. We had rain all morning long. Wasn't sure if we were going to be able to finish this project. So let me get us started on this project. So we're here in our Farmer's Friend hoop house. Wonderful product. I suggest it to everyone. But we've been using it with these end walls, how they came. So you can see they do excellent job. You've got plenty of room to get a tractor or a wheelbarrow through here, but they're not as stiff as I think we would like them to be, as strong as we'd like them to be. Where we live at, we have high wind events weekly, and I'm talking 45 mile an hour all the way up to 90 mile an hour winds. So we're decided to frame in the ends, and we watched a video on Farmer's Friend, and you can actually buy a kit to be able to do that, but we thought, hey, we're just DIYers, let's see if we can do it ourselves. So that's what we're going to do today. If you can kind of follow me, I'm going to show you a little bit here in the hoop house what Bruce has been doing this morning because he had to stay out of the rain. But we've decided that we really do need more raised beds. This particular row has a problem with water. The water doesn't seem to drain out of it. It's just the way the land is sloped, and we've done everything we possibly can. It rolls off the top of the hoop house and then rolls back in. And so my plants, depending on the plant, they haven't done really great. It's weird. I've got 3 rows that everything does great in, and then I've got this one and a lot of stuff struggles. So Bruce went yesterday into town and he bought untreated wood. These are 2x6s, and we do have some 2x4s. It's untreated, and he is using this wood to attach to the hoops, and it does help with strengthening the structure a little bit, which is really important for us being in a high wind area. And we're getting ready to do a few other things, but if you can look right here, he attached these with rebar, and that has made a world of difference. If you can follow me over here, I want to show you how strong these boards were actually bowing out from just the weight of the dirt. And then these kind of like to do their own thing. And now that he has drilled them down with rebar into the wood, and see how that works? And it has made a world of difference, just making this structure a little bit more tight. He did have to get a rebar cutter because it was not fun using a Sawzall to cut this stuff, or whatever he was using. I know it was a big thing with blades on it, and it was very difficult. But there you can see that's about how much rebar he's got. How far did you put these down in the ground?
That's a 2-foot piece of rebar, so the rebar's in maybe a foot.
A foot, okay.
I just went till it was really tight.
Good.
And stopped.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's what Bruce has been doing the last couple of days, and that's what we got done today. But we are getting ready to start the end wall down here, and we'd like to take you along with the ride, and Bruce will explain to you how he's planning to do it and the different materials and tools you'll need for it.
If Kelly will come here with the camera, what I've done, I've went ahead and done the base. So these are attached. I will come back and drill these and put rebar in them, but I want to get my uprights up first. So I have used my pocket hole jig. I've got screws going this way, and then I've got a little L bracket there in the corner on this one, and the other one I have just used the L brackets. I smashed one almost flat down here and used a drill screw to get into that. These are drill screws. These are strong tie screws. They are made for setting your joist hangers and things. It's not just regular screws. Regular screws, the heads will shear off with much force on them. So we'll put the camera on the tripod, and this is an idea of what the pocket hole jig. I've already pre-drilled this. These are 3-inch structural screws. So I'm using those, like I say, 2x6s, 2x4s. This is all framing lumber from Lowe's. It's relatively inexpensive. I think these were less than $4 a piece. 8-foot lumber is going to work, which makes it easier for me to bring home. The little L brackets, let me grab one. All right, a little bit of the shopping trip yesterday. These are white roofing screws. We will use these to attach this to the wood so that this will no longer have as much give to it. These are the screws I mentioned. These are strong drive SD connector screws. So like I say, they're made, you can see that little picture, they are made.
Sorry, got his finger in the way.
They are made for the joist hangers. So I feel like those are strong. These little metal L brackets, like I say, you can make them flat if you need to use those. And what else do I have? Oh, this is the leftover tech screws or drill screws that Farmer's Friend originally sent. So when I attach those L brackets, I'll just use one of these little tech screws, drill screws. So I've got a little bit on the end. So I think that's it. I had to buy a bigger 1/2-inch paddle bit, wood bit. I felt like to get through the 2x6 because of the length, because most of the paddle bits are only 6 inches. So I have, now this, it's way too long, but they don't make an in-between size. So this is what I drill to get the rebar. And sorry if we're making you sick. Let me show you how I'm cutting the rebar, because I am going to pin these two end pieces. Sorry, it's getting late in the day. I started early and it was cloudy and rainy and cool. And so this is the new rebar cutter by, I know to pronounce it VEVOR or VEVOR.
VEVOR.
I've heard of both. So we like VEVOR better. So this little thing, this is a hydraulic, which is nice because it doesn't require electricity. So what it's going to do, it's kind of like a heavy duty lock cutter. Now I'm going to get this out of the way so it doesn't get me or Kelly. And I forgot, I don't know how many pumps it takes, but all at once it will, see it's starting to give. It's bowing just, so it's going to pop. And that's a lot easier than, see the cut's relatively clean. It doesn't mushroom it out. What?
I'm trying to see the cuts. There you go.
All right, there's the cuts. They're not mushroomed out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put a link to this. This was less than $100. It's also about half the price of an electric one. We're pretty far from the house, so I'm using all battery powered tools. This is nice because it doesn't require any batteries or any electricity. So we got those cut. There'll be one on each side. Let's
Cameraman down.
all right, let's put this away and we'll put it on the camera stand and we'll get these uprights. What we're going to do is go right up beside the zipper on both sides and then go across. So it's going to be like a goalpost. We'll put it on the camera stand. It'll make more sense hopefully in a few minutes. Okay, we're going to try to get the first upright in place. I've got the pocket screws down here at the bottom already started like we showed you. So I've already measured this and cut it. It is not fine carpentry work by any means. So I'm just setting these screws. We'll come back and put an L bracket right down here in the corner. It's reasonably solid. And what we want to do is just come back from the zipper a little bit. So we'll push this over. That'll be about right. When I attach this fabric, I'm going to leave some room for this flap where the zipper is to move. So let's see if I can reach this. Okay, we have the L bracket attached, and with the on the wood, I'm going to bend that L bracket up till it shapes a little better with the bow. And unfortunately, every screw we have takes a different size bit. So, these are the tech screws, drill screws from Farmer's Friend. So we're going to try to center this. All right, I got it. You can let go. You can step back. You can step back. I got it. Okay. All right, you see what you think. That feels pretty good to me. Once I get the rebar in the bottom, it's moving down here, but we'll fix that with the rebar, and we'll do the other side. We'll put it on time lapse and get the other side done. Let me go ahead. I'm going to take this off and let Kelly hold it. All right, so we're going to put a piece of rebar right here. Say the long bit does make it nice. I don't have to bend down. Okay, so there's one hole. Let me grab a hammer. I've just been using a framing hammer. So I don't know if you want to get behind me, Kelly. If I don't hit the camera, I have to turn it off. Might be too loud. Okay. A small sledge would probably be better, but I've got this, so I'm using it. So that took the sway out of the bottom, that being pinned now. You can see how hard it goes in. I don't think it's going to lift up. So I am going to show you this pocket hole jig maker. This is really for cabinetry and furniture, but we've got it. I like it how you go ahead and have the angle to put your screws in. So you set it on the right depth of your wood. So this is 1.5. It's set on 1.5. You put it in, seat it to the bottom, and so I'm putting 2 screws in, release it. I'm going to grab a couple screws. Go ahead and empty the holes out. So I'm going to put these in, get them started while I'm standing up, it's a little easier. And it's helpful to have a fairly long extension on your bit, because otherwise, if you got a short one, you're going to start contacting the side of your drill. All right, these are started. So let's see if I can do this one-handed and let Kelly film. Try to get my arms and legs out of the way as best I can. Excuse me just a second. Just to keep the clamps are nice when you're working solo. That'll keep that together pretty good. So if you have problems toe screwing lumber, that little jig makes it nice. So we're going to move on. We'll put it back on time lapse. We'll do the L bracket up here. We'll come back and put one here. And I think that's all we'll need to do. So we'll put on time lapse, get this done, the support across. Then we'll show you one of the other things we're doing that's kind of not greenhouse necessarily material, because greenhouse material is really expensive, but we do have a surprise to help ventilate this. We hope it helps. We're gonna call it a day. We're down to one mic, so we'll try to share. But we're gonna stop here. It's getting late, and
it's dinner time.
We've been at this. I've been at this all day.
Yes.
She's been doing inside stuff that needed done, and we've got this. Kelly thinks she can do chin-ups on it, but
no chin-ups. But you can see this.
So
I will not tell you how much I weigh, but it's enough to make sure that's strong.
So we'll turn that back on. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or later in the week. Oh, we had a surprise before I forget. Solar panel and a fan.
I'm Vanna.
So we got a solar powered fan. Amazon, it's waterproof. It's got louvered doors, so when it comes open, it blows these open. So we're going to mount it up high. That's why and again, while we're framing this, I'm sorry, I hit Vanna. Uh-oh. And so that'll be next up, and we want to see how this works. We're hoping to put that, I don't know if I'm going to have to put the panel on the outside. I'm kind of hoping maybe I could put it up here inside, so I don't have to worry about it blowing away. We'll see.
We do have wind.
We do have wind. So, hello, welcome back to day 2. We just ran out of time. I was getting tired. It was getting late. It had been a rain and cold day. And today is much better. We've got sun out, and it got almost freezing last night. It was April 21st. I'm on my lunch break. Thought I would show you a little better this solar fan. Got it hooked up. Say this is not where we're going to put it, but let's see. So this will be on the outside. Is the way I'm envisioning I'm going to do this. So there we go. Fan makes a little noise, but it's not bad. I think this is rated for just under 500 cubic feet per minute. So it's 7-8 times an average bathroom vent fan. Like I say, there's no battery. We're thinking that as long as the sun's out, we'll put this fan up high, and we need the ventilation anyway, because I don't know if you can see up here, but it is 80 degrees where the outside air temperature is more like about 50. So we'll put the fan away for now. I've just got to measure the dimensions of this square. There we go, this square, and make a frame for it. It's not real heavy. It's probably only a couple pounds. So it doesn't need to be crazy heavy duty framing. We're going to put it up in the peak. I've got this to go first. We're going to put it right up to the top. So I've cut it. I actually measured, got into the bows here where I could stick it up and just trace it with lines. So my angles are good. I put the braces on already. You have to be careful because I only got room for one wood screw because of the angle of the cut. Otherwise, like this one, you'll be coming out here and that will be no good. So let's get this installed. I realized you couldn't see, so I moved the camera. I'll try to explain this again. So I'm going to put this piece I showed you I made right up here. We are going to have a 2x4 here and on this side, so 2 supports. We won't call them jack studs like you would on framing a door, but we'll make them the width of that fan box. Just put a bottom, so I have a little square just to put the fan in, and that'll do it, I hope. So let me put it on time lapse and get busy. So we were lucky last night. It got down close to freezing, but our tomato plants behind the camera, they look fine this morning. We did close the hoop house up. We put some row cover fabric over the tomatoes and the peppers and some of the flowers we've got started, but they seem to have come through fine. So this box is 9.5 by 9. I'm gonna call it, it's actually, it tapers a little bit. I'm gonna leave my rough opening at 9.5 and maybe a smidge more. You don't want to make it too tight. I really don't want to take things apart. So let's go ahead and mark for that. So let's go to the center. Try to move this over, maybe you can see what I'm doing. Making it up as I go is a little bit of what I'm doing. All right, so 9.5. That's about center here. It's not, so we'll make a mark here, and I can hold this still. We'll go a 1/16 over, just to the outside edge of that mark. All right, we got top. Tell you what, I'm going to leave the bottom loose. The cord across is actually level. So let's see if we can get this one set to level. This one's actually good. So I'll go ahead and pin this one. Screw it in, make it secure. There we go. That'll get that side. And we have the tape. 9.5. I'm going to move it a smidge this way. Let's see if that correlates with level. Yeah, that'll work. Let's grab the fan, since it's what actually has to fit. We'll go through this way. Oh yeah. Let me take that apart and move this bottom one. We've got probably a little too much play. This is what's nice about putting things together with screws. When you make goose, this is all just an experiment of how to get a fan in the hoop house without spending a lot of money. The regular greenhouse fans are really expensive, and I thought that fan's $110. Let's give it a shot. And if it doesn't work, we've got framing up here to put something different in, but I don't want to run power down here, so that's where the solar was nice. As you can see, I got my support piece up. I secured fabric on the outside with the white roofing screws, so it's tight. Let's see if we can cut it, and I thought I would cut it in quarters. Alright, let's see if we can get this one. Last one. So we could get a roofing screw, 4 of them. We'll pull this back and have it on the inside. Put the blade away. Use the utility knife. It's a lot safer if you put the blade away. Don't ask me how I know. I can feel the cool air coming in just from having that hole cut up here. Okay, change bits. I have 4. They sent some mounting screws. I thought they were a little short, even though I said this was a lightweight, a couple pounds at most. But I just want to make sure I've got the 2x4 framing. Let's put it in with some screws. I've got 1 5/8, so I'll go at an angle so I don't come out the backside. I didn't bring 1 1/4 with me. I'll try these. Like I say, remember when you install this, the dampers go down. Definitely not like that. Also the cords on the downside. Hopefully that'll help you remember. Because you definitely would like it in a semi-closed position. Alright, I'm going to set this clutch way back. That ought to work. Going it left-handed. Not real good at left-handed. Okay, last one. Not even sure we need it. Alright. And just for giggles, because you're all watching, let's hook up the panel. Get a little slack in the cord itself. So I've got to figure out how to mount this still. I'd love to put it here on the inside. We shall see. That ought to work for demonstration purposes. We appreciate you tuning in. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. We appreciate everyone who's already subscribed. Y'all are fantastic. We appreciate it. Here we go. The fan does have an on-off switch, so if for some reason you wouldn't want to run it, you can turn it off. See, as I get it angled toward the sun, I don't know if you can hear the fan as I turn it away. See how it goes. So south is about like this. I'm going to do it like this. And I did check that this cover would go on after I mounted it. So that's good. Last one. There we go. Okay, that is the final install. I'm going to take a break. We'll come back and see where we'll put the solar panel, and we will call this project done. Let's call this project completed. I just got the solar panel where I think I wanted. It'll get more morning sun. That's okay. We're late in the afternoon. You can see we have shade on the hoop house now, so that's perfect. I want to get the fan going in the morning. I've got it angled southeast, not true south. You can kind of see what I did. I'll back up and let me show you over here. To make it easier to attach the round conduit, I smashed the ends up there, and that made getting the drill screws in easier, and also easy on the solar panel install is I just used zip ties. Like I say, this is inside, so I'm not worried about wind. You know, I've got to use zip ties in a project. It makes it easier, right? At least I didn't get the duct tape out, at least not yet. Okay, to summarize what we did, I put 2x6s on the bottom. They're about 3 feet long. They attached to the bows. You saw the little L brackets, the metal L brackets. I used a wood screw against the 2x6 and the tech or the drill screws to attach to the post. We used the pocket hole jig to attach the 3-inch wood screws into here at the corners. More of those L brackets. So built the bottom first. You saw me put the rebar in. Went up with the 2x4s, got them attached, did this piece. The final thing was to frame in for the fan and get the fan up there, put the solar panel in. Like I say, it's in a position I can move it if I don't like it where it's at. But yes, it did take me longer than I expected, but it's much stronger than I expected. We saw the test of my wife hanging from it, and no, we're not allowed to ask how much she weighs, but I will leave links in the video description for the fan that we purchased. And I don't really need to leave you links. Everything else was just big box store. 2x6 lumber, 2x4 lumber. I bought 10-foot pieces of rebar, which you saw. I'll leave a link for the VEVOR rebar cutter. The screws and the L brackets, like I say, you can just walk through those, get what you need, get a few things extra, take your time. A time estimate on this was, let's call it 4 hours to get this end wall. I can probably speed up a little bit on the second one. Maybe it'll be half that, maybe it'd just be 3 hours, but plan to spend a good afternoon. Maybe 2, break it up if you think it's too tedious and you're getting frustrated. So appreciate you watching. Bye.